Good afternoon. Here we are again in our annual pilgrimage when we, in the celebration of International Labor Day, and in particular Labor Day here in St. Kitts-Nevis, pay homage and respect to all of our fallen labor leaders, those who have served and have gone to the great beyond. This afternoon we are here at the St. Paul's Parish Church, the Anglican Church in St. Paul's, Churchgut, at the gravesite of none other than His Excellency Charles Egbert Mills. Charles Mills was a phenomenal leader of the labor movement, served not only in the humblest of capacities, but also served in the area of education here in St. Kitts-Nevis. Started as an ordinary teacher, went on to university and college, came back and served as our chief education officer. But then he was called into politics by none other than his own cousin, Sir Robert Llewellyn Bradshaw, and took up the mantle of leadership here in constituency number 6. We pay our deep and abiding respect to him and what he has achieved on behalf of the people of St. Kitts-Nevis. You will hear that the comprehensive system of education was one of those subject areas he studied when he did his work, when he did his undergrad studies in England and came back and implemented it here in St. Kitts-Nevis. We are tremendously grateful to his dear wife and his family who sustained him throughout all of this. And today with us we have his dear wife, just celebrated her 94th anniversary of her birth, just 1 week ago. Sylvia Mills, originally of St. Paul's, but now of Sandy Point. We have as well in our midst the deputy leader of our political party, the Labour Party, St. Kitts-Nevis Labour Party, the Honourable Dr. Jeffrey Hanley. And of course we have the representative of the Labour movement in Sandy Point, constituency number 5, His Excellency Kenny Douglas, and of course as well former Member of Parliament and representative of constituency number 3, His Excellency Conwis. I don't want to call his middle name, Conwis Maynard. And of course we have from the St. Kitts-Nevis Trades and Labour Union, none other than our erstwhile comrade and friend, Mr. Dixon, George Dixon of Sandy Point, and another member of the Mills family. I turn the microphone now as the master of ceremony to Kenny Douglas, who would say a few words, and then we shall lay the wreath after his dear wife would have also given her remarks. Thank you.
Thank you very much, our former leader, Dr. the Great, Denzel Llewellyn Douglas. It's a pleasure for me also this afternoon to be here, paying tribute, paying my respect to the great Charles Egbert Mills, who, as you heard, championed the cause for education right here in constituency number 6. Actually, he served as the minister or the parliamentary representative from Sandy Point all the way to Dirtby, all the way down to 1975. That is when I was born. I was born in 1975, and so I need to mention that he served that long, from since 1975. Mr. Charles Egbert Mills, as you heard before, he was a great leader. He was a great leader. He was a teacher. He was an education officer and also the chief education officer. And because of his contribution, his valid contribution to education, I think that is why it was worthwhile in 2010 when the formerly Sandy Point High School was renamed after him, the Charles E. Mills Secondary School, in his honor. And so this afternoon, in the presence of his lovely wife, who made 94 years and keep batting, I know she'll reach 100 just now, singles after singles. And so I would just love to say that we here from the St. Kitts-Nevis Labour Party, we pay our greatest respect to a great Labour leader, and we salute him and his family.
Right, although I did not mention it, but I should also emphasize that Mr. Mills served as a Minister of Government. He served as the Minister of Communications and Works and Public Utilities, and also he became the Minister of Finance of the government of St. Kitts and Nevis after Mr. Bratcher would have departed. I now, of course, ask his dear wife, Sylvia Mills, to say a few words, and then Mr. Dixon will pass the wreath to his dear wife, who would lay the wreath at this time in his honor and in celebration of Labour Weekend Activities 2022.
Comrades, today I lay the wreath on the grave of my husband, Charles Mills, who served in this country for many years. He worked diligently for the people of this country. And today I say that in laying this wreath, I will pass this message on to all the comrades. I know that he would have been happy to be with you at this particular time. However, I think that if he were here and this message that I'm going to give to you today would have been what he wanted to do. And this message is found in 1 Corinthians chapter 16, verse 13, the epistle to the St. Paul. And this is what St. Paul had to say to the people in Corinth. This message I pass on to all the Labour people today, and especially our leaders. St. Paul said, be watchful, stand firm in the faith, act like men, be strong. And also in 1 Peter chapter 5, verse 8, Peter said, gentlemen, said, be sober-minded, be watchful. Your adversary is like the devil prowling around like a roaring lion, seeking souls to devour. Brethren, be strong and of good courage. Thank you.
Thank you, Mrs. Mills. Very sound words that the leadership of the Labour Party must always remember, and we shall be watchful forever on these words. Thank you. Thank you, Comrade Sylvia Mills. Now we lay the wreath on behalf of the Labour movement as we show our gratitude, our love, our deep and abiding affection and we show appreciation for the tremendous work and sacrifice that Charles E. Mills would have committed in the advancement of our movement. Thank you, Mrs. Mills. Thank you, you and your family. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Okay, we now move to the next grave site in the neighboring village of Deer Bay. And we go to the grave site of another erstwhile comrade, Owen Keynes, of the labor movement here in St. Kitts-Nevis. Okay, thank you.
Tell them I only with labor. It's the labor. We only with labor. It's the labor. I only with not be asked if I's a labor man. I run with labor, I fought in for labor. You're not be asked if I's a labor man. I run with labor, I fought in for labor. Boom, you know I'm red, you know I'm brown, and you can see me jumping up in the crowd. So tell a friend, I'm shouting loud, I supporting comrade, it's labor we are for. Tell them labor, I run with labor, it's the labor. We run with labor, it's the labor. I run with labor, it's the labor. Why? You're not be asked if I's a labor man. I run with labor, I fought in for labor. You're not be asked if I's a labor man. I run with labor, I fought in for labor. Push my head out my window and show them the 5 finger. I hope all you remember. Just show them your 5 finger. Comrade is the best leader. Just show them your 5 finger. On the 5th of November. Just show them your 5 finger. We ready, ready. Tell them that we ready. Comrade is the best man to keep the country steady. Ready, ready. Let them know we ready. On November 5th, we voting for labor. I gonna be labor. It's the labor. We rolling with labor. It's the labor. I rolling with labor. It's the labor. Why? You're not be asked if I's a labor man. I rolling with labor. I fought in for labor. You're not be asked if I's a labor man. I rolling with labor. I fought in for labor. Boom. You know I'm red. You know I'm brown, and you can see me jumping up in the crowd. So tell a friend, I'm shouting loud, I supporting comrade, it's labor we are for. Tell them labor, I run with labor, it's the labor. We run with labor, it's the labor. I run with labor, it's the labor. Why? You're not be asked if I's a labor man. I run with labor, I fought in for labor. You're not be asked if I's a